There's no sanctuary studios of Arizona. UFC 291 betting with Oddsmaker. From Mybookie, back on the show, Molly McCann, Tom Aspinall, UFC 291. Let's do it tonight with the MMA-Holes.
Wonderful.
Welcome to the stream. It's good to be here. It's good to be alive. It's good to be.
Wonderful.
Everyone, make sure you hit that like button and share the stream because we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff tonight. It's UFC 291 Fight Week. UFC London went down last Saturday. A lot of things to talk about with that. And we got a special guest, a repeat offender of the MMA Holes, back on the show. We'll show you in a second. But let me do some shameless plugs before we get underway. Because of this big fiasco, UFC 291 this weekend, well, we got a special thing for you guys, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. They're giving away Dustin Poirier signed gloves. On top of that, hot sauce and all this fun stuff. So here we go. If you want to win, check this out. On Saturday, July 29th, Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje will headline UFC 291 with the honorary BMF title at stake. To celebrate, MyBookie is giving you the chance to win one of two signed gloves, courtesy of Poirier. We will also be giving away free play and assorted packs of Dustin's favorite Heartbeat hot sauce as additional prizing. So you're getting hot sauce, you can get gloves. This is pretty good stuff over here. Simply follow the instructions. So here's the campaign. Go check it out. Twitter. Check it out. They have it on Twitter. We retweeted it so you can see it for yourself. But it starts July 12th. It already started. It ends July 29th. You only have a couple of days left for this. So that's the campaign. It goes to July 29th. You got to submit it before the dates to be eligible. And here we go. You got to like the post. You got to retweet it on Twitter. Let's see. Designated by MyBookie social accounts. Follow MyBookie on Twitter and Real MyBookie on Instagram. So go follow MyBookie on Twitter and Instagram. That's super simple. Just hit follow. Have a successful deposit on MyBookie's platform within the past 90 days. So go make those bets for UFC 291. Send a DM with a screenshot of your MyBookie account after following the MyBookie account and sharing the post. So, I mean, it's really simple over here. Here's your prizes. The signed gloves plus a $50 free play is the first place. Second place, signed Dustin Poirier glove plus $40 free play. So 2 gloves on the line. By the way, I checked out the Twitter, and like we said before, there's barely any retweets. Guys, do not waste any time. Like, you're literally going to win. Like, I'm looking at the retweets. If you follow all the instructions, it's yours. I mean, there's not many people in play for this, so go check it out for yourself. Also, on top of that, fourth place is you can get the Louisiana-style mixed 3-pack. Actually, third, fourth, and fifth place, you get that with $30 free play, $25 free play, or $20 free play. So, come on, guys. Go over to MyBookie's Twitter over there. Get it rolling. Get those bets in. I'm going to mystically give you the predictions and picks, and it's going to be wonderful.
Wonderful.
Also, I want to shout out Millions. Shout out to Millions over here. Link in the description if you want to support the athletes. You got all their swag. We have Julianna is on the show Wednesday night, so if you want to go buy his merch and show up at the stream on Wednesday night wearing his clothing, go click the link in the description, okay? And this weekend, ESPN Plus is going to be showcasing 291. If you buy the pay-per-view through our link, we get commission. Thank you. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get something together here for you guys. This is very exciting. Over here on the MMA Holes, we like to place our bets. We like to have a little fun here on the MMA Holes. And what better person to have on the show than a man who actually makes the odds for MyBookie.ag. That's correct. He was on once. This is his second time before the big BMF fight. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Raphael Esparza? Let's go, champs. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. A big fan of your show. I just love how your show is just completely off the rails at all the time. Makes me laugh. I try to watch it when there's live events on there because I think it's so funny because sometimes I just hate the commentary of the events. Don't tell those guys that I said that. But You do a great work. So when I was going back and forth with you and I saw you retweeting a Dusty Poirier gloves and stuff like that, I'm like, I need to jump on the air. I haven't been on the air with him in a while. So always thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you stopping back on, and we have been degenerate gamblers over here. Like, I am not a big gambler. I used to gamble at the casinos back in the day, but sports betting, I did football. You know, the football pools and all that fun stuff. And with the UFC, I never really gambled until the last couple of years. I have been hooked on gambling and the pluses and minuses, the underdogs, the parlays, all that fun stuff. So it's been a lot of fun, going back and forth with the community, seeing what the hot bets are to make, and having you here is a pleasure. I have to ask you a question, though, before we get underway, okay? Is MyBookie going to get live odds? Because I've been foaming at the mouth for these things. Live odds for MMA.
I've been trying to tell them, like I said, I do all the odds for all this stuff. I don't go to meetings. I'm not in the boardrooms and stuff like that. I just submit the odds. They post them. I don't do customer service, but that's probably the biggest thing I keep on telling them. Need live odds. We need more live odds on golf as well, not just MMA. I think it's coming around. Last time I did hear things are coming around, so I wish I can say yes next week, next month, before the year ends. I'll try to dig a little bit more deeper into that. But they know that's probably the number one between MMA and golf. That's probably the two number one biggest misses.
It's so crazy when we see these live odds pop up while we're watching the UFC fights. Like, oh my God! Like, we'll see this crazy plus. I'm like, we gotta jump. Oh, we can't. so we get a little bummed. So that's my only criticism. But the good thing about MyBookie that I've noticed is if you're going for the favorite, like, the line isn't as lopsided in favor. I noticed a lot of these other gambling sites, like, the plus money is higher. But if you are rooting for the favorite and you're trying to bet on the favorite, MyBookie actually works out pretty well when it comes to the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, the bosses are not going to like this, but I know they're not probably watching it, that their time's out right now. But that's why it's good to have another out or another sports book, as I like to call it. I mean, yeah, some books are better if you bet dogs. Some books are better if you bet favorites. I'm not saying MyBookie don't have an account, but you should always have more than one out if you're a serious gambler. If you're just a gambler that's going to sit around, the kids are in bed, the wife's watching a Barbie movie, and you want to put $20 on this week's MMA, then just sign up, try to get those free gloves from Dusty Poirier, play your $20, that's it. But if you're a guy that's betting hundreds and hundreds of dollars every Saturday on MMA, looking for the best options on knockouts and stuff like that, then why would you want to lay, let's say, Dusty Poirier at minus 145 when other books have minus 170, minus 165? Always get the best number. Now, sometimes it's not going to be MyBookie, which I don't care. Get the best number. I'm here for you guys to win money. Always shop around. That's why you always need to have more outs.
That's why I appreciate you stopping by. You're very honest. And when we were talking about parlays last time, I said, is that a sucker's bet? Yeah, you gave me the answer. I mean, every time I bet a parlay, like, I throw $5 each week just for fun, and I'm like, I'm just literally throwing money down the toilet. What am I doing here? But it's fun chasing, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when Meatball Molly lost, I saw all the parlay papers. All the parlays just go down on Saturdays. A fight that was a big big lady on a parlay for last week's UFC. I'm sure we'll have another one. I'm sure Bobby Green's probably going to be a big parlay bettor. We'll probably be rooting for Tony Ferguson. So I'm sure we're going to be rooting for Derek Lewis, because I'm sure Marcos is probably going to be a heavy bet on parlay. So there's always a couple of fighters that I'm rooting for the dog to win, because if they win, those parlays get chopped down, and it's going to be a nice evening.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just jumping in, we're back here with Raphael Esparza. He's the odds maker for MyBookie, and he's completely honest, and that's what I love about Raphael coming on the show. So looking at last weekend, the Molly McCann fight, I was actually genuinely surprised. Like, when I just felt this was a lamb to the slaughter, and for her to get finished in that first round, boy, oh boy, a shockwave through the MMA community. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
I was shocked, but at the same time, I wasn't shocked. I mean, if you saw some of her early fights, then you're like, oh, she could probably get beat on the ground really early. Then she had a nice winning streak, and she was piggybacking on some other fighters and getting the plug, and famous people are wearing her merch in the front row. Okay, maybe she is taking it serious. Maybe she is going to be able to win some of these fights, and she hasn't. So I was rooting for her. I like her as a fighter. I like her as a person. But once she went down, I'm like, oh, this one might be over very early. And
yeah.
I wish I had it on sound. I was watching soccer and I was watching baseball, and I had UFC not on sound. And I wish I would have went back and see what the commentators were saying, because I wasn't listening with sound, because I was, you know me, not only am I MMA odds maker, but soccer and everything else there. So I got seven screens staring at me right now.
Yeah, that's what you were saying the last time. It's pretty wild. I mean, the weekends for you must be out of control. Do you drink at all? Do you do drugs? What do you do when you're watching these fights?
No, I usually drink maybe once a week. Usually it's on a Sunday. Even if it's an NFL, I'm not the biggest NFL fan. I can watch all the NFL games Sunday night and Monday, because my favorite friend is Fast Forward. So I'm not watching live football games. Everyone knows me in the community that Sundays during the NFL, sometimes I'll go to the movies, sometimes I'll catch up on the DVR. So I'll pop a bourbon on Sundays, stuff like that. But usually Sundays are usually kind of my, you know what? I'm not the biggest NFL fan, so why am I going to sit around and watch every game and dissect it? I don't play fantasy, so I don't have to watch player versus player and stuff like that. So I would say Sundays are my relaxing time.
What is your favorite sport to bet on? What do you think gives you the best chance of winning some money?
Oh, by far, college basketball. Just because if you bet college basketball right when it starts in November and December, the odds makers, including myself, were stuck in watching NFL and college football money coming in left and right. If there's a big UFC fight on Saturday, if there's a big boxing fight on Saturday, then you have college football and NFL. And sometimes you'll get a Sun Belt college basketball game that's playing on a Sunday in late November, playing a team that they shouldn't be playing. And let's say two people got double popped for, let's say, $1,000, and the odds maker, including myself, forgot to move the number because I was watching some guy bet six figures on Alabama versus LSU, or we have another guy pounding NFL, or we have another guy pounding UFC 300 when it's Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, and I forgot to check college basketball Sun Belt Conference. So it's college basketball is when you can get some soft lines, because again, the odds makers are usually concentrating on other things.
That's interesting. Wow, I didn't think of it that way, because people go crazy over. Like, I never was into a college basketball. I like basketball, I like the NBA, but for some reason I was just like, this is like watered down version of basketball. But yeah, people go ballistic over March Madness and the brackets and all this crazy stuff. So that's fascinating. I might have to get into that.
Yeah, it's the best value, because again, including myself, sometimes we're just so fascinating with college football, a big heavy UFC weekend, boxing weekend, NFL weekend. We're forgetting about the college basketballs, the NHLs during that same time frame. Like November and December is when my gray hair really shines, because I have like multiple sports, and let's throw in the World Series now in November. So let's put that in there. So usually during that time frame is when my gray hair shines really nicely.
So now, how long have you been with MyBookie?
I've been doing their ads for probably close to 8 years now, 9 years. I did consulting work before. I was pretty much doing them. Like I said, I work with them, but then I also help out other books with their crazy odds and political and stuff like that. So everyone thinks I have a contract with them, almost like an independent contractor with them, just because they were the first ones that let me do wrestling pay-per-views and movies and Rotten Tomato scores and stuff like that. So I usually keep them close, just because they gave me a shot before anyone else did when I wanted to put up the crazy lines.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we've had a pretty good relationship with MyBookie. We've dealt with other I guess sports books or whatever, and they have been the most consistent and the least shady from what I've noticed. It's just like they're an open book when we talk to them, and they're very kind, and you can get your money, which is nice. A lot of these other places, you have trouble getting that money out from these betting sites, so it's nice to know that your money can be taken out, right?
And I tell people, if you have problems with them and stuff like that, feel free to use my social media to contact me, because I can throw in an email or send a phone call and say, hey, you know what, Joe Schmo, account my MB123456 is having trouble. Can you take a look at this? He's an MMA-Holes guy, or he's a good guy, blah, 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 and stuff like that. I try to work, like I said, again, I'm not in the customer service meetings. I'm not in their home offices. But sometimes, as I heard, sometimes my emails ring bells when the corporate guys or the big guys see them and stuff like that. So if you guys have any issues, follow me on my social media, and I'll try to help. Now, sometimes people do bad things or stupid things, and that's why their accounts are where their accounts are, and I can't help that way. But some of the easy customer service ones I can usually get through pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I tell everyone, if you have any issues with any of our sponsors, let me know, because I don't want to work with anybody if they're fucking over my audience. You know, like I don't agree with that. And you are very reachable here. Check them out over here on Mybookie_MMA. Correct? Is that the best place to get in contact with you for the peeps?
Yeah, you can keep me in there, or my personal one at VSI.sports, or on Instagram, MyBookie MMA Instagram. It's my MMA MyBookie Instagram is probably the quickest one, because no offense, I don't want to plug plugs, but that's how I usually talk to all the fighters and all the celebrities through the MMA Instagram one. So I'm constantly on there on that one, probably a lot more.
Okay, good. So yeah, MyBookie_MMA. So if you have any issues, there you go, and no dick pics, right?
I still get them. It's funny. Me and my wife always we have contests because she's a famous photographer in New Orleans, and so she gets a lot more of those pictures than I do. But so yeah, it's we compare sometimes.
Who got the bigger dick pic? That's good. So this weekend, how fired up are you about the BMF belt? Because like I've been a little hard on it, but I know it's a great fight. Poirier versus Gaethje, the rematch. No way is it gonna suck. I was hoping that the co-main event would have been for a belt too, because of Jamal Hill getting hurt. But you do have this event, BMF fight. It's a pretty solid card over here. How excited are you? Are you pumped up for this event, or are you going to have so much shit going on?
I'm excited, but thank you for saying what you said. You've been hard on this BMF fight. So have I. First of all, a BMF fight in Utah? Really? I've been in Utah many times. They should not have a BMF fight. I watched Michael Jordan win the game-winning shot in Utah against Utah. I've been to Utah many times because I lived in Vegas. That shouldn't hold the BMF fight. But you said it correctly. It's a really, really, really good card. So I'm really, really excited. A big fan of Dustin Poirier. Met him a couple of times. I do have a home in New Orleans, so I got to meet him a couple of times because he's a Louisiana boy. But there's Bobby Green. I already mentioned the Bobby Green fight, which is going to be good. Kevin Holland fight is going to be really good. I want to see Derek Lewis win, but I don't think that happens. But his fight's going to win because his fights are always energetic and always surprising. And you don't know what he's going to say if he wins or what he's going to say if he loses. So I'm excited for the whole card in general. Not excited for the BMF kind of title it's holding onto this one. But I can guarantee you I'm going to be a big Justin Gaethje fan and Tony Ferguson fan because I'm sure that's what the house is going to need. Yeah,
I bet. Yeah, I think. Let me know in the chat if anyone's going with Justin Gaethje, because a lot of people, like, and myself, I think Justin's going to be a different fighter this time around. I still think he's going to lose, but still, I have a feeling he's going to be a more polished version of what he was before. Before, he was that car crash type fighter, and now, if you watch his last couple of fights, he's more tactical. He kind of steps back. He doesn't go balls to the wall. Even though he had that crazy firefight with Chandler, he still was reserved as Chandler was going reckless. So I'm really curious to see how Justin Gaethje makes the adjustments in this fight. But you say, as a fan watching this thing, like, who do you think's going to get the win?
I think Dustin's going to get the win, and if you want to bet him now, I say hurry up and jump on him, because I would not be shocked if he closes round like minus 165, minus 170. I think he's going to get the heavy of the wise guy action. So like I said, there you can get good numbers out there. Some of the books in Vegas still have minus 145. Even in your neck of the woods in Arizona, I saw minus 147 earlier today. So, again, here's the one where you need to get the multiple best outs. We have minus 153, I think, right now on Poirier. This is one of those this is the perfect example right now where I say you need your multiple outs to get the best number. Because why would you want to lay minus 150 with us if maybe your book in Arizona or your book in Vegas or another book that you have has minus 145? That's just not. You just need to be better. You need to be smarter with your money and stuff like that. Now, again, if you're just sitting around because the wife's watching a Barbie movie for the third time and the kids are sleeping, and you're just going to sit back and watch Poirier because you bet $20 to get those signed gloves, then yeah, put the $25 my bookie, sign up, get those gloves if that Dustin Poirier says, and lay to -150. But it's going to change. I can guarantee it's going to probably be -165 or higher.
There you go. Okay. And yeah, like you talk about Derek Lewis, it's funny how they were saying Derek Lewis has these cardio problems and this and that, and they got him fighting in the mountains. They have him fight him with the altitude higher than normal. So like what kind of adjustments is there? It's almost like they're setting him up to fail, even though he should beat this guy. I mean, I don't know. What do you think of Lewis's chances over here in this fight?
I would love to see him win just because I love to see his stuff on the mic. I mean, if he doesn't win and he has to hang him up and all that, he needs to be calling Triple H or Vince McMahon or something, because his mic work in wrestling will be fantastic. But I see Marcus taking control of him in this one. I think we've seen the best of Derek Lewis, unless for some reason he comes in the ring, takes his shirt off, and he's ripped, and you could tell he was really concentrating on his cardio and his physique and all that. Then I'll be cheering for him. But I think Marcos takes care of this one. I'm a little bit shocked that the money came in a little bit on the under or the over 1.5 rounds when it first got posted.
Yeah, I'm really nervous about Derek Lewis. He was such a fun guy to bet on because he always had that. Even if he was losing the whole fight, he could still knock you out in the third round with some crazy shot. But now it's just like it feels like he was in great shape the last fight, and his head seems like it's not there anymore. He definitely shouldn't fight in Texas.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah. I think mentally he's having issues. I don't think it's his physical stuff. I think his brain is just not following. And then you got that car crash fight of Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green. My goodness, man! Like, what is the line on that? So I noticed over here on the UFC, it's like, wow, Tony's at plus 285. I don't know what they got it on my bookie, but that's
minus 385 on Bobby Green, and Ferguson's plus 273, 275, I think it is.
Wow, man. I mean, talk about risky. Like, you would look at this fight back in the day and you'd be like, oh, Tony's got this. It's Tony time, baby. But now it's like we don't. Tony's looked really weird lately, and Bobby Green's a head case. Maybe this is one we should just sit back and I don't know, just enjoy, or should we bet on it? What do you think?
I say sit back and enjoy, because again, back in the day when UFC was in its prime, I know people are probably going to hate me for saying that, but when UFC was in its prime and when Tony was in his prime, you'd be like, "What? I'm taking Tony all day long against this one." And then, but now this is one of those ones you sit back and enjoy. And if Bobby Green does what I think he's going to do, then Tony take the gloves off, put him in the center of the ring, and I'll still follow you on Instagram because you have beautiful pictures in Hawaii with your family, and I wish I was there.
Yeah, I'm a big maybe I'm a boring bettor. I'm not a betting show, but I do make bets and I make predictions and all that fun stuff. But I tell people, listen, there's some cards I look at and I'm like, I might just lay one bet down, like just for fun.
Smart.
And some cards I skip, and I'm just like, I just want to be a fan. Like I feel like it's sometimes, like last weekend was great to bet on, because it was a shit card. It was a shit card that ended crazy, but the 15 fights, it was too long. There was all these decisions, and until the very end when it got really interesting, I mean, it was just boring as hell. But when you have bets on fights on a crap card, it makes it more interesting. But if you have a really good card coming up, sometimes you just sit back and enjoy the fights, no?
I agree with you. Why would you? I always bet smart, not dumb. And there's just like in football, if you're going to bet every game on NFL Sunday, I can guarantee you're not going to come out in the plus. It's just, again, if you're going to look at this UFC card and you say, oh, you know what, I only really like 2 fights in this one that has betting value in my eyes, then put your 2 bets. Who cares if your best friend just, hey, you know what, I bet 8 games, I bet 8 fights on this one, love the over-unders on this one, and stuff like that. Well, that's his money. Mm-hmm. Your job is you wake up, and when you go to bed, you're hoping you have $1 more in your wallet than when you woke up. So again, if you only like 2 fights, bet the 2 fights. Who cares what TV's telling you, or your best friend's telling you, or what social media's telling you? It's your money. So if you only like 2 fights, bet the 2 fights. Never feel pressured to put more action down.
There you go. If you just jump it into the stream, friends, Raphael Esparza is here from Mybookie Oddsmaker Extraordinaire. And I do want to talk to you about the co-main event of this fight, Jan Blachowicz versus the man who was the boogeyman to Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira. moving up a weight class. And when I saw that the line was pretty close on this thing, maybe I'm crazy. I see, me personally, I'm kind of, this is another thing where I might bore people, but I wait until after the weigh-ins. And even though the lines change and everything, I need all the information I can get. But right now, I like Jan Blachowicz a lot in this fight. I think he's going to take him down and fuck him up. Like, I have this weird feeling that the former champ is going to get it done. But what do you think about this fight?
If I was the case in that, I would wait to the weigh-in, or maybe wait before the weigh-in, because I think maybe money might switch over, because Blachowicz opened up at -140, and now he's -120. We have it at -120. I think the lowest I seen was -120. We're the lowest right now. There's a couple -125s out there, but yeah, I think he's either going to stay flat. I don't see him going any low. I don't see like plus money on him. It would not shock me if maybe see a pick'em fight -110, -115 across the board. But yeah, this one, for me, this one is a no touch.
Okay.
I ain't touching this one. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it, because I think this one screams fight of the night. Just, I mean, because both have heavy hands. We all know about Pereira and a funny cartoon you see of him punching a bear and just sparring with anybody that could spar with him. This one, for me, just sit back and enjoy it, because this one, to me, screams fight of the night.
Very interesting. All right, Chad, let me know what you think about that. And just scrolling through the card here, of course, Stephen Thompson versus Michel Pereira is going to be a banger. I mean, it is a really solid main card. Kevin Holland versus Chiesa. A lot of people are hitting me up. And even though Kevin Holland's the favorite, they want to lay some money on him knocking out Chiesa. They're thinking that Kevin Holland's going to get that job done. I'm kind of on the side of don't sleep on Michael, the former Ultimate Fighter. Maybe that plus money, I don't know. It's kind of got my interest. I still got to see these guys stare at each other. I got to see how the weight cut goes. But right now, plus money is kind of sticking out for me. Or should we not touch this fight either?
I would say if you're looking to take that plus money, maybe where you may move 5 more cents, because let's face it, Kevin Holland is probably a little bit more popular fighter. Not just saying that because he works with us at MyBookie. He does funny videos for us, and his picks usually don't do well. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah, this one for me, I'm with you on this one. I think the plus money is just staring at me saying, bet me, bet me. But again, I have this one circled in my card, not what as I'm gonna put a little bit action on it. But I'm trying to get that best number. I would love to get plus 140. That's my goal. And this one, if I can get closer to plus 140, I'm jumping on and I'm jumping with you.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's funny, right? Like when that plus money hits a certain point, it's almost like even though you have a doubt, you're like, I gotta take that, right? Like how could I just let that sit there? There's a good shot that I could hit on this, right?
Yeah, I tell that in everything. I mean, for example, the first game of the Women's World Cup, everyone was all, oh, no, Norway. I'm like, New Zealand plus 900, who played well in the last couple of matches before World Cup started, and they win 1-0. I mean, and you can get 9-1 on that one, just because I thought the plus money was too hard to pass. I mean, I rather lose on a really good plus money and say, hey, you know what? Took the shot. I thought they had a good chance of winning it. Than not winning, than not playing it and see, oh man, I can't believe I passed on a 4-1 or 5-1 when I've been telling people this is a live dog.
There you go. Could you make a living off of gambling on sports? Do you think it's possible?
Could I, or do I know people?
Or either or.
I couldn't, because I can't bet in a lot of books. So
okay.
I don't have outs like I've been telling people to get their outs, because I mean I do so much consulting work. I know so many other odds makers. I don't like to bet in like best friends who I know who are odds makers, because it's like going to someone's house and open up the refrigerator without asking. Yeah. I just don't want to do it. But I know probably a good 2 handfuls of people that just bet on sports for a living. But it's not the most glorious job. It's a lot of sweating. It's a lot of popping tums like Tic Tacs. It's like the stock market. Yeah. At that point, you're just betting numbers. You're not betting teams. You're not betting the jersey name. You're not betting what this fighter's won 5 in a row. You're betting, like you just said, he's got plus 145. Well, he maybe took minus 150 earlier in the week, and now he's trying to middle and try to win both fights. So there's a lot of collaborations going on when you're doing it for a living.
We've seen a couple of YouTube channels pop up that were betting MMA channels, and they would have these like leagues together where people were betting, and the person that wins the most bets like wins a prize and this and that, and people were like collecting money and not paying them. because they were gambling too, and they were trying to constantly catch back up, and they dug themselves in a hole, and they couldn't pay the people back. And it's really scary when you see people like get into those. I mean, gambling's an addiction, of course, but you know, I always cringe though when I see those specific YouTube channels about gambling. It's like, I hope you guys, you know, are doing this responsibly. Like, I hope you're not betting the family's life saving on this stuff.
And one thing, if you're going to do it professionally, or even do it like you're trying to make a nice living on it, you always have to contact those books, because every book has its limits, and you never want to be barred because you double popped them and you didn't mean to and stuff like that. And sometimes I used to do it when I worked in Vegas, when I worked at ARIEL and MGM. We used to have guys that would sit around that were looking to bet an extra $10,000, and sometimes we might need that action. So let's say if I knew a guy that already bet Justin Gaethje at $20,000, and we're looking for more Justin Gaethje, I would go find him in a casino. Hey, you know what? I know our limit's only $20,000. If you want $50,000, I'll give you $50,000 on him. And then 9 times out of 10, they're running with you back to the book. Okay, I'll take $50,000. So it's always good to have a good relationship with that with your sports book, because sometimes they're going to need you, and sometimes you're going to need them, and so they don't bar you if you did something wrong by accident. Or I hate when people say, "Oh, they kicked me out because I won too much." Well, they probably kicked you out because you did something wrong when you were winning too much.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you know, I didn't get a chance to ask you about this, the whole James Krause situation. What are your thoughts on that, Big James? I have mixed feelings on that one, because I understand it, and at the same time, I can't believe it. So I've heard worse stories. I mean, I've been through the NBA coaching scandal. I've been with the Alabama college baseball scandal. I've been with the scandals. I mean, I was working at the Mirage when the big Arizona State college basketball scandal was happening. So I've seen witness and all that. So when stuff comes out, it doesn't shock me. It just makes me more disappointed, because it puts a black eye in my industry. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not your guys' fault, right? It's James Krause who's playing the game. Dude, yeah. I mean, that was nuts, man. When I started to unfold, and what he was doing, and like, holy shit. I mean, the guy's a smart guy, but not that smart to be that sloppy about it. Just bragging about it was crazy. Yeah.
And like I said, like the cat's out. Like now they're suspending these NFL players for betting and all that. So how can you tell these kids who are in college, probably playing fantasy sports on DraftKings and FanDuel, and now they're in the pros making a little money, and now you tell them they can't play at DraftKings, they can't put a $20 on, let's say, an NBA game. Now, I understand you can't bet on your sport. That's why I understand, like, UFC fighters can't bet on UFC fights, which I know they do because I've seen it, I witnessed it, I know it. And I understand that, and I understand NFL now. But if I'm in an NFL and I want to play an NBA or March Madness, I mean, really? I mean, the cat's out of the bag when my jersey's sponsored by a sports book.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a little weird when I saw fighters were doing predictions for their own sport. It was like, what? Wow, why is this going so long? And then finally they put the hammer down and stopped them from doing that. But I mean,
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they're still doing it. I mean, it's not like
yeah. I mean, it's how hard could it possibly be, right? Call your friend from the gym, say, "Hey, man, put in a bet for me. Don't tell anybody," and away we go. What do you think about corruption? Like a lot of people, man, like a big theme with our, fight reactions and posts are judges corrupted. Some people are saying fights are fixed. Like, what do you think about the UFC? Do you think it's following suit with boxing, where there is some shady stuff going on?
I would say yes, and I'm kind of glad it is, because I'm a boxer. I think I said this in your last show. I'm a boxer first, because I grew up doing boxing. I grew up going to Caesar's Palace before UFC was even UFC. I mean, I went front row at Oscar De La Hoya when he fought Chavez Sr. So I was always a boxer, stuff like that. So I hate when people are like, "Oh, boxing judges are rigged." I'm like, hey, now that UFC's here and UFC's making a presence, it's going to come full circle. Oh, no, it's not. UFC and MMA and Bellator, we're much different in boxing. Well, too bad, because it's now full circle. So do I think it's happening as bad as boxing? No, but I think it's getting there, where some calls and some judging, I'm like, really? What were you watching?
Yeah, the judging has been like, I've tried to defend the judges, but then, I mean, there have been times where I'm like, what? Why? What? Like, honestly, it doesn't make any sense. Like, some of the... It's craziness. When it goes to the judges, I just cringe every single time.
But I've talked to many boxers and many UFC fighters and stuff like that, and they always tell me, "Hey, if you don't want to lose the fight by the judges, then don't let the judges predict the winner. Then you take care of business in the ring or the octagon. You show that judge that, hey, I won. That made it so close."
Absolutely, yeah, you're 100% right. Dana said all the time, "Don't leave it to the judges." Right.
Wonderful.
So on this card, what would be like a straight up bet that would really stick out to you if you were to say, okay, this one looks like a complete lock? Does anything stand out to you on this card in 291?
You said it, and you hit the nail perfectly. I think Derek Lewis is something wrong upstairs, not body-wise. And I think and I would hate to say lay the -$2. I would say wait to take Marcus, because I think the betting public who are going to watch old YouTube clips of Derek Lewis on the mic saying we all know what he says and stuff like that, so that price might come down. I think Derek Lewis takes a loss, and would not shock me if he takes those gloves off and puts them in the center of the ring.
Okay, so there you go. And what about if I were to ask you something like, I don't know, a crazy parlay or something? Like, is it our favorite bets to make, parlays? What would be a good parlay to put together? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but is there anything that jumps out?
A crazy one, which I know it's probably not good, but how could you pass Tony Ferguson with that big of a plus money? Throw him on a parlay with maybe Dustin Poirier or a fighter that you think, all right, you know what? I'm watching UFC 291 because I know this fighter is going to win. Put your number one fighter and add Tony Ferguson on it, because that parlay, that two-team parlay is going to hit nicely. And I know he has Bobby Green is no joke, but you're never going to get Tony Ferguson money price like this probably for a while. I say roll the dice. That's why it's called gambling.
There you go. Yeah, at the end of the day, especially when that's why I tell people, I'm like, listen, if you could do a prop or a parlay or any of that stuff, you're lowering your odds. But yeah, it's fun. Like sometimes if you have a couple of bucks laying around, you want to throw it in a direction to get that big plus money, why not? Have a little fun, you know? I'm cool with that, as long as you do it responsibly. You know, some people rely on it too much. So did you catch the event last weekend? Did you see Tom Aspinall take out Tabora in the main event?
I think I was tying my shoe when I lifted my head up. It was over already. So it was a quick one. I did watch it. I actually had it on sound because I wanted to see how he was going to come back. Aspinall. I wanted to see, okay, is he going to be like in what I heard when he was training and stuff like that? Everyone said he had a great training. So I wanted to see how he was. So I actually put the sound on that one because I forgot what I was watching on that one. So I watched it. Looked very impressive. Now, is he John Jones impressive? I'm hearing a lot of stuff that, hey, if John Jones looks impressive in New York, where he's from New York, maybe he might hang it up. I'm telling you, what's going on with Bellator and what's going on with Francis Ngannou, the money he got, I have a feeling a lot of change can happen with some UFC fighters. Maybe want some of that coin, or maybe going a different way with their platform. But like I said, I'm hearing Jones is from New York. I think he's born and raised there. I don't know, but I know he's from there. So if he looks very impressive in this fight, what else does he have to prove? Pretty much would already call him the GOAT. I don't see anybody that's up there in his name light to steal that away from him. But I don't think he's John Jones ready, but I think in a couple of fights he could be.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I mentioned the same thing. Madison Square Garden, he's fighting Stipe Miocic, who's arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. You beat Stipe over there. You lay the gloves down in the world's most famous arena. Dude, that's it. That's the story. That's like literally, like they make a movie about that. Be like, this is too fake. This can't be real. Like that's what you want as an ending. And to take a risk against a Pavlovich and this crazy Tom Aspinall, not saying that Jones will lose, but I mean, you really are taking a massive risk. What more do you have to prove?
Yeah, and he can make a gimmick. He can make a gimmick fight after in a year, making a lot more money than he ever did in UFC. So yeah, that would not shock me if that's the case. Because like I said, there's a lot of crazy stuff I'm hearing. You saw the odds I put up. Who's going to purchase Bellator? Because I'm hearing they're on very, very thin ice right now. I would be shocked if they even last throughout the year. And stuff like that. So it's going to be very crazy in the MMA world because I think we're going to lose a big a part of it.
So did you put that on MyBookie? So help me out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So odds on who's going to purchase Bellator.
Okay. So where can we find these these crazy stuff. This crazy stuff about.
I think it's under MMA specials. If I remember, I'll have to look on there.
Okay, let's see.
I haven't been on there in a while.
Yeah, I guess when you can, if you could just let us know in the DM so I could tell the audience, because I would be interested in something like that too. Yeah, because I see MMA, but it just has like upcoming fights.
Yeah, because I put who will purchase Bellator MMA. I got PFL at -125, UFC +190, AEW. Keep an eye out for AEW at 6-1, and then one championship at 11-1.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about AEW. Like that would be interesting. Yeah, because that counters with the WWE and the UFC type thing.
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Do you have a second to answer questions from the chat?
Sure. Fire away.
All right, live chat over here. We're hungry for money. Everyone wants to win big. So if you have any questions for Raphael Esparza, he's nice enough to come on and give us the inside look of all these plays and what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I think it's very good advice. What's the odds of Magic Johnson dies of AIDS? What do you think?
You know what? I got that question like when I first started doing crazy odds. Someone sent that because we used to do head-to-head death matchups, like head-to-head Rolling Stones, who's going to die first. I think we had Jay Leno and David Letterman. We had like crazy ones, and we got some negative press out of it, but we got some positive stuff on that one. But yeah, someone asked me, well, how can you never put a Magic Johnson one? Because like, sorry, I mean, I wasn't around. I was too young to put odds up when that happened.
You know, it's crazy. It's not funny that you say that, but it's crazy that you say that because there was a bare knuckle fight, and we put a poll up while we were reacting to it. A guy got hurt. He got knocked out and hurt. And we was like, oh, I think, like we always joke around, oh, he's dead, he's dead. So I said, did he die, right? And it was a yes or no. And a couple days later, he died. And I was like, I'm never doing that poll again. Like, that's not happening over here. I can imagine the backlash you got, though, for putting those odds up.
That was one that, like I said, that was one of the ones that I'm so glad I don't do customer service. I'm so glad that I just do the odds, and then I just go under my little cubby hole and watch TV all day long.
Yeah, it's true, right? You don't really have to. But you control the Instagram account, though, right? The Mybookie MMA?
Sometimes I help them out. Like,
okay.
Like if I put up an odds on a fight or stuff like that, or they're like, hey, can you help me out on this one? I'm a little bit behind and stuff like that. I'll jump on board.
Okay. Let's see. Do you think Leon Edwards keeps his title run going? That's actually interesting. There's rumbling that Leon Edwards is going to fight Colby Covington, maybe co-main event for Madison Square Garden. I'm curious who's going to be the favorite in that fight. I don't know. Is that even...
Probably Edwards, I would think he would. I don't know if I have. He would probably, off the top of my head, I would probably make Edwards like -130, 140 over Colby. Colby Evans hasn't really shown me anything besides hot girls when he does plug for us. But I would say Leon Edwards would be the favorite, and I think he would probably be the betting favorite throughout the whole event.
Man, a lot of people could jump on Colby. I know it just from our audience, just hearing our, like, I'm with you. Like, I think Leon should win this fight, but if the plus money is there, I might even throw a bet on Colby too, because there is always that chance with this guy, the bedroom cardio, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love talking to him. I talk to him a lot because he works with us and stuff like that. And what you see on camera and on Instagram and Twitter, and then what I see when I talk to him, it's like night and day. So he's so respected to me, and he's always kind. And he thinks that I'm one of the craziest guys that sits around and watch TV all day long and get paid. And how he says, I don't know how you keep track of ladies soccer on one day and watching baseball, and you're doing Little League World Series odds during the whole event. So he's like you're crazy to do all that stuff.
I might have to hit you up for Colby, man. We can't get a hold of this guy. I've had John Jones on the show. I've had all these crazy characters. I have Mike Goldberg in studio do a fight, but I can't get Colby. Can you make a call for us?
I'll see what I can do.
I have been hard on him a couple of times, so I'm not sure if he's heard our bits on Colby, but yeah, put in a good word for us, okay?
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Let's see. Anything else over here? Let's see. Too much money will come, Colby. OnlyFans? What could you bet on with OnlyFans? I don't know. Is there anything?
I've had odds on who's going to open up an OnlyFans account next. Will Britney Spears have an OnlyFans? I mean, I've done OnlyFans all over the place. I've had accounts on that one.
Really? And you can get that on MyBookie as well? You can do that?
Yeah, I don't have. You know what? That's funny. I don't have anything up there right now on OnlyFans. I need to put some more odds up on OnlyFans.
So if I were to go to MyBookie,
it's usually under it'll be under the entertainment section. I don't think there is right now because I know. I need to do the Emmy Awards. I need to finish those today and stuff like that. So all that kind of crazy stuff will be under entertainment section.
Okay, yeah, I see politics over here too, so you can bet on some politics as well over here. Okay, volleyball. Yeah, you guys got a lot of crap here. Lacrosse, horse racing, hockey, handball. The fuck?
Oh yeah.
Wow. So
international handball.
I didn't even know. So wait, there's like professional handball going on?
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at that. I had no idea. All right. Get your bets in. Any good bets on handball you can throw out there?
I haven't watched handball since the pandemic. So, and I have not watched Russian table tennis since the pandemic. I had to watch all that during the pandemic, but I haven't watched it lately.
All right. I think I just lost you for a second here. Hold on, let me pull you back up. There you go. All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any handball anyway. My graphics. You okay? You're fading in and out.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, my graphics are failing me. All right, listen, Raphael. Listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you over here. I'm looking forward to the fights. Will you buy the pay-per-view or steal it? What are you gonna do?
Oh, I buy it because I get reimbursed. So
that's great.
I do it professionally because I need a tax write-off because I get reimbursed and stuff like that. So when you're a guy that has no kids. You need all the stuff to write off as much as possible.
There you go. All right, so you show the receipts and away you go. There you go. All right, well, listen, Raphael, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming back on. Anytime you want to come on, maybe before pay-per-views, we'll just keep dragging you back on. What do you say?
Yeah, anytime. Like I said, I love talking to the public and stuff like that. And I try to be as true and honest as anything. Like, I won't hide. I'm not going to say MyBookie's the greatest place to place all your bets. Because, like I said, if I see a better number, I'm here for you guys. I'm here. It's not my money. I mean, try to cash the best money you can get. Try to cash the best ticket you can get.
There you go. Raphael, thanks again for coming on. Is there any plugs you want to throw out there before you go?
No, don't forget to sign up over at MyBookie. I'm like you said, you said it earlier. I just checked the Twitter feed this morning. There's not that many retweets on this Justin Poirier and stuff like that. So I was to hurry up and sign up and get those 2 free gloves because he showed us proof that that's his signature. I think you get the video of him signing it, so you know it's actually him with the certificate of authenticity. So. You're going to have all that true stuff. So I say hurry up, sign up on that, and try to get those 2 free gloves.
There you go. All right, Raphael, thanks again for coming back on.
Take it easy. Have a great week and enjoy the fights.
All right, there he is, Raphael Esparza, live on the MMA-Holes. Whoa, look at that. What an appearance. I like Raphael, man. He's a cool dude. I like the fact, listen, I want to deal with people that are honest. Especially if it's with sponsors and stuff like that. I love transparency. That's very important. So he gave you some ideas, insight on the whole betting game over there. If you just jumping in, run it back when we're done. And let me know in the comment section what you think about Raphael's appearance. And I think he said some very interesting things. And by the way, like we said before, people aren't retweeting this. So if you guys want a chance to win, there are 5 different places with this MyBookie contests, all right? And first and second place, you're getting assigned a Dustin Poirier glove, all right? So if you're going to bet on the card this weekend, get it in. Check out on Twitter. Go give it a retweet. Make a burner account. Retweet it on Twitter. Follow them, with your burner accounts. There's nothing in this that says you can't follow them with your burner accounts. Just follow all the everything on this little page over here. On Twitter, we gave it a retweet too on X now. It's not Twitter anymore. It's just, dude, what is Elon doing? What is he? Look at this nonsense. They finally changed it. The bird is gone, and there's an X, and it looks like the tattoos I have on my back. But yeah, go check it out. We retweeted it. It's at the MMA-Holes where you can find the post and go win that. I hope you guys win that glove, man. That would actually be really cool. Win money, imagine you win your bet. I'm going to give you the picks, baby. He named it X, yeah. Dude, what the hell? When we did our gaming channel last night, people were talking about it. I had no idea what they were talking about. And I still didn't know what they were talking about until today when I started reading some of these articles. And yeah, he changed, it's X. I looked at the little tab on top. It's just an X. The bird's gone. I think that's a massive misplay. I mean, I guess there are a lot of people that don't like Twitter. So maybe if you don't like Twitter, that looks cooler. I don't know. But let me know in the chat. Do you what do you think of X? What do you think of X? And we'll break down this UFC London card. I'll give you, listen, I love Dustin Poirier in this fight. I'm not gonna make my bet until Friday. But if you want to get into this contest, you got to get your bet in soon. So that's on you. But I'm gonna wait until Friday to get my bets in. This is a members only stream. For pay-per-views, we're going back to members only streams for the prediction portion of the show. We will be live on Friday night for Fuko Friday. But the prediction show, we will do an after show with the members. So make sure you're membering up. It's super cheap. Hit the join button. If you are an existing member and you want to gift some members, feel free to do that in the chat as well. And I thank those that have done that. But, okay, let's see what's going on in this chat before we get into UFC London. You don't get the joke. Tesla model, and now Internet XX. Come on, people. I just still don't get it. Members only predictions, you bums. Multiply, y'all. Make babies. Great message. I personally think X gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. It is. X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. If I win those gloves, I would love to gift them to you, Moss. Dude, that'd be awesome. Send it to us. We'll do a massive giveaway. We're going to give away the vape pen this weekend. And maybe we'll just do like a couple of giveaways. We'll do for the goat milk and this CBDX vape pen. If anyone likes to get high, we'll do a fun giveaway for that as well on Saturday. What's your lock of the week? So like I said before, listen, I'm very honest with you guys, okay? When I do my predictions, okay, I can give you early predictions, but I don't really sit on them. Like, I don't like give the guaranteed lock until Friday. I do need to see the weigh-ins and the weight cut. I like to see press conferences. I like to see gather as much information as possible before I make the bet. Listen, if this is a pick'em fight, the co-main event, dude, I love Blachowicz in this fight. But right now they have Peña plus 100. I think my bookie's got it even though. Let me just double check. Like I said, if you're betting on the favorites, my bookie's the way. UFC 291. There it is. All right, so yeah, it's a pick'em, man. Minus 120, minus 105. So on my bookie, it's a pick'em. I really like. Listen, I want Pereira to win, but dude, he's biting off more than he can chew over here. If this is like a pick'em fight, I'll probably throw 100 on Blachowicz. You know, I just got to see. I got to see the face off. I got to look at this weight cut. Alex is always a scary dude. He's taller. He's probably longer too, right? He's got an 80-inch reach. But Jan, he knows how to deal with this. Jan knows how to deal with this shit. You know, I know Alex is in. You know, he's working with Dylan Dennis, the great. That wasn't very impressive. I think Blachowicz is going to take him down, and he's going to fucking do naughty things to him. Now, when you look at the age, Pereira is 36, Jan is 40 years of age. So if you're scared of the man because he's a little older, don't be too scared. Don't be too scared. How is the weather today? I saw a picture of a car bumper in Arizona that started melting, dude. It's 103 now, so it's almost 8 o'clock, and it's 103 degrees. 103 degrees. By the way, hit the like button if you haven't done so. Smash up that like. I don't have it fired up over here, but just hit the like button. I want to be delighted by when I shut down this stream. I want to look at the likes and be like, ooh, that's amazing. So hit the like button if you enjoy our content. And we're going to roll through this. Let's recap UFC London. And if you guys want to talk some more about UFC 291, feel free. We'll have Adrian Yanez on the show on Wednesday. He's confirmed. He's going to pop by for the first time. First time we got Adrian Yanez on. So Adrian Yanez is going to be coming on, and it's going to be an interesting interview because he is coming off a loss, and it's a big loss. It's one that I'm sure he's not super thrilled with, but there's a silver lining, Anderson silver lining to Adrian Yanez, and we'll get to that on Wednesday, and we'll get his thoughts on. I'm curious what he thinks about the Sandhagen fight and what happened there. He was actually in the mix to take it, but he is coming off a loss, so that's probably why he didn't get it. You want a desert, and you got the desert. Yeah, listen, I'm not complaining at all. I'm not complaining. I still love it here. Yeah, it's wild, man. Like, this heat is, you got to be very careful in this type of heat. This is no joke heat. This is for the pros. For the pros, man, this heat. So if you move to the desert, you got to know what you're getting into. If people move to the desert and be like, oh my God, this heat is unbelievably hot. Like, what did you expect? You're in, there's cactus and snakes and all that fun stuff. All right, let's roll through this card over here. Listen, I'm not going to waste much time with the undercard. In fact, let me just skim through it here. There's nothing to really... Listen, thank you, Filio. This dude over here, he was a favorite, but a slight favorite. I threw $50 on him, and away we went. I was playing with house money the rest of the night. So, big win over here. There are some times when you see a little bit of a favorite and you know it's a lock, you just fucking go for it. It was the first fight on the card. It was right before we went live on Fight Buddies. I was delighted to see him win this thing. The fact that it was so close, I thought it was a steal, so I jumped on it. And he cushioned the blow for the rest of the card. Shanna Bannon, dude, I mean, what the hell was that? I'm sure she'll get another go, but I got to be honest with you. Maybe go back to Invicta. I don't know. Sharpen your tools, and then come back. That was just that was nuts. But she took the loss over there. Chris Duncan wins. Ketlin Vieira gets the win. Nothing surprising. Muradov beats Barberena. I was hoping that Barberena would show up. He didn't. He got beat up pretty bad and looks bad moving up a weight class. Mick Parkin. Oh, this one here, too. Like, this is another one. I felt this kid was a lock as well. Parkin. Now, in this situation, he had limited experience, but he just looks pretty good. Like, he looks like a solid fighter. And against Jamal Pogues, very winnable fight for him. He was getting the plus money. Another lock over here for Parkin. That was an easy plus money Moss win over there, so congratulations to that kid. Do I see champion? No, not quite yet. But the kid can throw combinations. Joel Alvarez in the Darce choke. This drives me freaking nuts. There was a headbutt. Of course, they don't even acknowledge it. It leads into DeCasey getting subbed. I'm not saying DeCasey was going to win that fight, but come on, man. Dude, like, if the commission's there, like, they could look at the replay and say, oh, wait, hold on a second. There was a headbutt, you know? Like, what are we doing? But that didn't happen, and Alvarez gets the win, and it's not his fault.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We got Sinosi coming in.
Damn, Mr. MyBookie. Anywho, these are the unders I got. Alex fell in better at LHW plus Glover helps plus Jan Age Ferguson he more skilled plus 2 bigger fan Gaethje fought more recent. Fight smarter plus hate fake nice guy Dustin. That is all. 80K this week.
Dude, guys, this weekend is gonna be nuts. I didn't reach back to Mike Goldberg. I'm debating. Should I reach? Let me know in the chat. Should I reach back to Goldberg? Follow up? Should we try to get him in studio for Fight Buddies? Let me know, yes or no. I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking maybe I should just tackle this thing head on. I don't know. Should I bring Goldie in? I don't know. Like, I feel like we can have a pretty big night. Anyway, I don't know. What should I do? Let's get back. And by the way, thank you for the donation. Anytime you guys donate, I get a chance to sip my coffee, and I like that. Let's see. So he says, fill in better. Hold on. These are my unders. I got Alex. Alex is it's a pick'em right now. I think that's going to get a little more even unless you put the bet in already. And I really don't like Alex in this fight. I don't. I want him to win. I hope he knocks out Blachowicz. That'd be great. It's better Alex winning this fight. But man, how are we sleeping on Jan? It's kind of crazy. Glover helps plus Jan's age. I mean, Jan's age means nothing. Glover, think about it, won the champ plus 40 plus, no issues. Alex doesn't have the MMA experience to go up against a guy like Blachowicz. I don't care who he's training with, and watching him grapple, dude, he is. Oh man, yeah, he's got a lot of problems grappling. I tell you, man, good luck. I hope you win, but I don't like Peña. Maybe in the face-off I'll see something different, but right now I think Jan's a lock. Ferguson, he's more skilled than too big. Wow, damn, you're gonna have a crazy parlay, huh? T. Ferg. I hope Ferguson wins. That'd be fun. Gaethje fought more recent. Fight smarter. Hate fake. Nice guy Dustin. So, wow, he's going Gaethje as well. Damn, we are disagreeing on all the picks. I love plus money fights, man. I love going with the plus money. Unfortunately, I'll go back to this card. The guys I'm picking, well, I think by the end of the week, Blachowicz could even be a plus. If enough people start betting on Pereira. I might even get Blachowicz plus money, so I hope I do get him with plus money. But right now I got the favorites. Poirier, Blachowicz. You know, I didn't really pay much attention to this fight here. Thompson and Pereira. Man, Thompson a fairly decent favorite. Wow. Huh. I think Thompson should win this fight. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Thompson, but who knows? Chiesa is someone I have my eyes on. I got to see what Kevin Holland looks like next to Chiesa. People sleeping on Michael, man. Michael's still a tough dude. And his grappling is far superior than Kevin's, I would imagine. Trevin Giles versus Bonfin. Derek Lewis, I'm probably not going to touch, man. I love betting on Derek. Who knows? Maybe the night of I will. Jake Matthews, super low on this card. I like watching Jake fight. Kopylov versus Ribeiro. That's Black Doug over there. He's on this card. It's a good card. It is solid. Maverick versus Coachera opening it up. Listen, I'm hard on chick fights, but that should be fairly decent. I don't think it's going to be a bad fight. So that's pretty decent over there. So, yeah, this is 291. And as the card progresses, as we get closer to the card, Wednesday night we'll talk more about Adrian Yanez. Friday we'll really dive into this card good. But right now it's a little too early for me to give you the locks and say bet the house. It's too early for me to do that, although I do like Jan Blachowicz a lot.
Super chat.
Blachowicz.
You better bring in Goldie in. You're going to be going head-to-head with Bapa's fight companion B.
Yeah, the last time, thank you, Bird on a Wire. What a name. Yeah, last time it was funny, Goldie texted me about going against Brendan Schaub, and we did pretty good. Should we do it? Should I hit him up? What do you think? It would just be me and Goldie. Maybe I will. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. No offense to Goldberg, but he's not a TV guy. Well, he was you mean he's not a radio guy? Is that what you're saying? Like he is a TV guy. You guys want it? All right, I'll hit him up. If he's not doing anything, we might be able to get him. I did bring it up to him the other week, and I didn't, go too crazy over it. Maybe I'll follow back up tomorrow and see if he's down. Okay. All right, you guys want it. I'll give him, and by the way, if he does decide to come on, I will give him the lowdown. I already told him that, I just want to, what the people want. They want the play-by-play. That's what they want. So when we do story time, it'll be between fights. Going head-to-head against bots. By the way, Bird and Wire, thank you for that big 999. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Thank you to everyone that supports the show. Seriously, cheers to the people. Always keep you guys keep us alive, man. You guys keep us streaming here. And like I said, the website is getting very close. Look how close we are to paying this thing off. So thank you so much. We got our hospital bills. So I appreciate it tremendously. You guys are the best. Absolute best. All right. So let's see what else I want to talk about from this card over here. Oh, my God. So Ziem, nice, strong win. A lot of decisions. Look at all these fucking decisions. You do have the knockout here with Parsons. Oh, my God. Danny Roberts. He just fought Dopey. He got Dopey out there. He's trying to put on a show for his home peeps, and Parsons just took his soul. We spoke about this submission. Marcos, so Davey Grant, I honestly think this was a robbery. I don't usually throw robberies out there, but I think Grant won that fight. I didn't rewatch it, so I'm not going to go crazy on it, but I was shocked. I was shocked that Marco stayed and still undefeated. I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you thought about this fight if you watched live or watched the replay, but I honestly thought, I don't know what the fuck the judges were looking at in that fight. I don't know. Whatever. Lerone Murphy versus Culibao. Lerone Murphy, nice strong win. Decision. Faraz, nice decision win. And then you got Paul Craig versus Andre Muniz. He finished him. My man finished him. Dude, Paul Craig got his first win with hair plugs.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Does Molly have a chance to ever become ranked now? We're going to get to that in a second. We're going to get... Now, listen, if you're a Molly McCann fan, you may want to leave the program because I got to be honest with you. Like, we'll talk about what her next plans are. Oh, Molly. Nathaniel Wood gets the win over Feely. This guy is a fucking savage, an absolute savage, Nathaniel Wood, and had a solid performance against a tough Andre Feely. Here we go. Molly McCann versus Stole Your Elbow. Oh, boy. Ronda versus Molly. So Molly took this fight, and she said that she needs to go down a weight class. She said she's clearly fighting bigger girls, and it's time for her to take it a little bit more serious and move down a weight class. And she's going to fight at 75 pounds. No, listen. I was listening to a lot of fighters talk about this post the fight and talking about Molly's ground game.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do it tonight, man, or early tomorrow. Sooner the better. Wanna see Goldberg now versus say huge PPV of the fall. Lastly, go Paul Craig. With not many great grapplers at middleweight, he can be decent. He called out Bo. I want it.
Man, so I don't know if the UFC would put that together, but I would love to see it. Nickel versus Paul Craig. It would... Listen, it's a great fight, but I feel like it's a massive leap for Bo Nickel, right? I'm not saying, Craig's going to demolish him or whatever. I'm not going to say Bo's going to demolish Craig. You don't even fucking know. But man, my man is... Bo Nickel is... He's so green. And if the UFC just threw him against Paul Craig, dude, that'd be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. Would I want it? 100%. Give it to me. Feed it to me. Feed it to my face, man. I would love that to happen, but I don't know. Do you guys think in the chat? Paul Craig versus Bo Nickel? I don't think the UFC would put that together right now. Paul Plugs rules. I mean, how do you not like Paul Craig? He's so much fun. Bo Penny is overrated. A lot of people, there are people out there that think like Silverback Orangutan. They are just saying this guy is severely hyped up. I disagree. He's good. He's good. He's got power, and his grappling is, we're talking top tier wrestling. I say slowly bring Bo up. Don't feed him to the wolves. No pun intended. Too quick. Take our time with Bo. There's no rush. Saturday was a meatball sub. Yeah, so Molly, she just, here, let's go to Twitter. It's pretty bad, man. It's a pretty bad situation for Molly McCann. She didn't retire. A lot of people thought she would retire, but she didn't. Oh, actually, let's do this. Let's do this. UFC London. Oh. Let's see. Actually, let's go to popular. Let's go top. MMA on the rocks. What are you doing? You live, buddy? Bruce once again being a little buffer. Yeah, did you guys see this? The Paul Craig. Dude, this is hilarious, man.
And 63 1/2 inches tall. Weighing in at...
So I can't play too much of that, but anyway, you get the look at these two, and Bruce is like right in the middle of it. Bruce was loving this moment, man. He loves this shit. Bruce lives for this shit, man. That's a cool moment. That is pretty fucking cool. Paul Craig's about to kiss his opponent. Here's Molly McCann with her belt.
What an inspired performance from Molly McCann.
Dude, this bitch is, like, I'm telling you, man. Like I said, she's probably a sweetheart. She's probably a super nice girl. But I can't stand her. I mean, Jesus Christ. What was she doing here? Dude, it's like so crazy. Like, I don't know. Maybe probably people from the UK want to fucking kick me in the ass for saying this. But Jesus Christ. She was doing this, man. She was like, what are you doing? Like, that's like, in a lot of sports, you don't touch the trophy. You jinx yourself. And that's what she did. Like, she's grabbing the belt, dragging it in there. Who'd she beat that night? Like, come on, stop it. Oh, my God. What does this person say? One of the lowest moments in modern U.S. history. Oh, my God. Dude, what the fuck? That's so funny, man. One of the lowest moments. Oh, what the hell? Was that Stern? What the fuck? Wait, hold on a second here. Let me proof you that. Hold on a second. What the hell? What the Oh, dude, this is hilarious. Hold on. Okay, it looks like we're good. Okay, I can show this. All right. Here, this is actually really funny. Here, check this out, guys. Look, she's trying to seduce her man.
What is this?
Oh, I can't play the music. She's trying to seduce her man. Like, she's all dolled up. The guy puts the keyboard down. He's like, I'm going to go in there. And he just fucking shuts the door. Dude, that's hilarious. How many people have been in that situation before? Raise your hand in the chat if you've been in that situation before. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Dude, that's so funny. That's not just the UFC, though, with me. Like, if I'm watching the Giants game, get the fuck out of here. I don't care what you're wearing. I'm watching the Giants. I'm watching my Giants play, man. Oh, my God. It's so funny. Now, I don't know why you would turn her down during UFC London. Like, this is the wrong card to be turning her down. Made a terrible mistake. A lot of Aspinall ground and pound going on here. Some twerking. Let's see. I want to just get to the... Look at this Muppet. Let's see. I'm going to just pull a Craig say. I didn't catch any of the post-fight stuff.
So, if I'm correct, you are a vegan, aren't you? Is that correct?
Well, to go to middleweight, one of the things we had to actually introduce was animal proteins, because the reduction in calories meant it was going to be really, really hard to get it only from plant-based. So, for part of this fight camp, we've had to introduce animal proteins, and so it's not meat, but it's eggs and cheese and that kind of stuff.
Wow, this guy, he went there, man. This guy's not eating meat. But he's like almost apologizing for eating eggs. I tell you what, I love meat, man. I freaking love meat. But if I could do it in a reasonably affordable way, I would and get my protein. Shit, man, I would do that. Paul Craig's a bet. I would never think that this guy does not eat meat.
And how have you adapted to that? Has that been something that's been a bit of a struggle to adapt to?
Oh, it's been hard. The first couple of times I had to eat eggs, they were making me sick. They were just, it was everything that goes along with them. I dislike.
What do you like? What are you crying while you're eating eggs? Like, I'm being a little baby, unborn baby chickens. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't find it. Where is it? I'm eating baby chickens. I did not even born yet. Paul Craig, pull it together. Makes me sick.
It's been hard. The first couple of times I had to eat eggs, they were making me sick. They were just, it was everything that goes along with them.
Are you guys still Paul Craig fans? Have we jumped off the boat? Oh boy. Soy boy losing his man cred. Listen, man. See, I kind of like, but I'm not a badass fighter. So if I would make the change, like I would make the life change, if I could do it, if it wasn't so goddamn expensive, and if I didn't love meat so much. I do love eggs too, man. I couldn't give up eggs. Where do you get your protein? You just gotta eat beans all day? Nuts? Like, where are you getting your fucking protein?
What I dislike, and the old milk has been wreaking havoc in the downtown Leicester Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ! I never liked Paul Craig. He gets all angry during pre-fight, like he's about to fight a war, and then just lays down in the octagon and gets his ass kicked. Well, you can't say that now. Got a big win. Molly McCann fight day. Oh my God, dude. Molly McCann fight day. And it's just her getting her ass whooped. Oh my God. Dude, why? Why are we supposed to fucking root for Molly McCann? I don't understand. What is this? What we doing? What are we doing? Why do we like Molly McCann? Those that do like Molly, what's the? I mean, I guess it's easy to shit on her after a loss, right? But this was before the loss. They're playing Benny Hill. Just getting fucked up. Oh my God, this tweet. You need an award for this tweet. It just never stops. Oh my! She's got the belt. Oh God, it's so fucking funny, man. Dude, it's such a mess. That was the fucking co-main event. Think about that. That's what the UFC decided to make. This is the co-main event. Stolianko won one fight out of her last 5. Molly McCann was a -2. I feel like an idiot for picking McCann. I thought it was going to be a layup because I thought they just fed her a can. And she gets submitted in the first round. Terrible pick by me. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my God, this girl. Are we over and done with it? So she's going to drop down a weight class. I think she put a tweet out. Benny Hill. Oh, fucking hell. Let's see. Molly McCann. See, this is why you kind of have to love Twitter, you know? It's just full. The trolling on Twitter is fantastic. It's on another level. Welcome to Barstool. Oh boy, this is the pinned tweet. By the way, I've tagged Portnoy a bunch of times. Nothing. Crickets. This is what I hear. This is what I hear from Portnoy. Meanwhile, when Patty beat Levitt, Portnoy responded in 2 seconds.
Wonderful.
2 seconds he responded.
Now I know why he won. He decided to be a man for one training camp eating animal fats. Now if he go eat steak or chicken, he will be unbeatable. NVM don't fight Bo, or do cause you will be ranked and Bo needs a top 15 rank.
There you go. Thank you, Sonosi. Manly Sonosi. Thank you so much, my man. Every donation that comes in gives me a sip.
Wonderful.
And that's wonderful. Thank you, my man. You the man, dog. You the man. Yeah, so I tagged Portnoy. And nothing. But like I said, Jordan Levitt loses. Patty Pimblett. Portnoy hops on that like nothing. Shuts all of his alerts off when Molly loses. So what did Molly... here we go. No, this is not it. So wait, she didn't respond. It's somewhere. Let's see. Molly. Meatball Molly. Man, she's got 511K followers. Oh, good for you. Now that the dust is settled, I'd like to thank the UFC staff and all at TNT Sports for the opportunity to co-main at the O2 in front of the best fans in the world. If you could only imagine the sacrifice and work that went into the build-up and that fight camp, I can't quite put into words. However, I will try to sum it up. I have always had the toughest road and journey in life. That's just the Molly McCann way. And I'm okay with that. The highs are the highest. And the lows, well, I don't think I have words that do the pain and hurt justice. But dare to dream, eh? If there's one thing I know, it's how to always overcome adversity. And this is no different. 20 months ago, I was sitting in the same position, 2 back-to-back losses, and ready to pack it in. Then, a boss run, and my world changed forever. I became a lesbian, and I ate a lot of pussy. Oh, also, we have one more adjustment to make, and I believe that will make all the difference. I'll learn how to grapple. The smallest in the division makes it tough. when the opponents are so much bigger. So for me, it's time to drop down and face the girls who are the same size. To all the keyboard warriors who'll give me down the banks and want to tell me about myself, go ahead. I'm living my dream every single day. I'm winning in life. The best team is around me. The best promotion in the world. This game has give me everything. Nice English. And I am beyond blessed. I'll be back sooner rather than later. Thank you to everyone for the support. In the words of Maya Angelou, you may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Dude, you kidding me? What is that? What was that? Dude, it's not... Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Okay. So she's moving down a weight class. We'll see how that goes. How old is she now? She's 33. All right. She'll be back. We'll see how she does. Imagine she goes on an epic run. Imagine she goes on an epic run, she wins the title, and then we all eat our words. Does anyone in the chat think that Molly will be able to bounce back from this? I mean, she is only 33, you know? Does anyone in the chat think she'll bounce back? The meatball, Molly McCann. Drunk words, writing with a bottle in her hand. Yeah, it was pretty, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. It's like, come on. Like, you know what you do? You say, hey, I'll be back. It is what it is. Thanks to everyone that supported me and my sponsors. Don't worry about it. It's and then once you're done, you know, saying that on social media, then you can cry into your lesbian wife's arms, you know? But come on. Stop it. For the pity party.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Fucking pity party.
You think she shags Paddy?
No, she's a straight up lesbo, man. Yeah, she's like, and she was asked this, like, I mean, Patty was asked about it. Like, she's super lesbo. In fact, the hand in this picture went up her twat right after she posted this. Like, her wife was about to check her oil here. See? That's not Patty's hand. That's Dana White's hand. That's Dana White. That's fucking Dana White. He's about to finger blast her after she posted that. Thank you. Thank you, Doc Dreamer. Cheers to you. I said take calls. Drop the Conor donation. I'll take calls. And not the super chat one. The cocaine one. All right. So that's Molly McCann. Let me know what you think. That's all I have to say about that. And by the way, Kevin, what happened? What happened to your boy? What the hell? Locking it up for the main event. Marcin Tybura from Poland. What the hell is going on here? Tommy Aspinall just ran through him. And like we said the night of the fights, here's a couple of things. Tommy's a player. He will fight for the belt. Not even a question. I think he runs through Cyril Gane. I think he, Pavlovich is someone that scares me. And I think that should be the next fight. I think the number one contenders fight should be Pavlovich versus Aspinall. But if he got a title shot, I mean, it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. Say Jones beats Miocic. Here's how I look at it. If you were to say to me, Mystic Moss, what's going to happen here? You do have Cyril Gane fighting Sergey Spivak or whatever, the Slim Shady looking dude. Listen, those guys aren't fighting for the belt. That's just a waste. They're fighting in Paris just for Cyril Gane to just give him something to show in front of his country. It means nothing, that fight. Even if Tommy Aspinall is sitting cage side, it's nothing. John Jones will defeat Stipe Miocic. I think he's going to retire. If he retires, you have Tom Aspinall versus Pavlovich, the vacated belt on the line. It's done. It's done. That's it. It's done. That's the fight. I mean, that's what's going to happen here. In a perfect world, you would love to see John Jones fight some of these guys. Not going to happen. I mean, why would John do that, man? Stop. John retiring in Madison Square Garden, beating arguably the best heavyweight to ever do it. It just makes all the sense in the world for John Jones to just hang those gloves up on top. My concern with Aspinall, and we said it the night of the fights when we were calling the fight, is Aspinall's chin is just, it's just there, man. Like, it's just, like, I feel like if Pavlovich gets a hold of that chin, he's going to send his head to the fucking moon. So I hope Aspinall can find a way to tuck that puppy in, or I hope he can take a punch, because, damn, man, when you're starting to fight some of these other guys at the top, that's going to be an issue. He does have his speed, and he relies on his footwork and his head movement. Aspinall is a very agile 6'5" man that actually, unlike Cyril Gane, goes for the kill, which is fun about Aspinall, but I am worried about that chin just being exposed. Almeida's another player too, but he's still a little low. But he is definitely a player. I agree. Anyway, let's look at Twitter. Just to kind of show the Aspinall situation. So we can't go too crazy over this. Thank you, Lou Dog. Officially a year. Wow, a year as a member. Let's go, champ. Thank you, Mr. Dog.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Arguably, Tom could last the longest against John out of all the heavyweights, long enough into the championship rounds until he gets finished in the fourth via sub. Interesting. John's impressed by Tom. Maybe he'll stay, but we'll see. The one thing that is, I noticed when we had Raphael on, by the way, if you missed the Oddsmaker to MyBookie, when we're done streaming, run it back, because I think he was very good. And he gave some really interesting insight if you're into gambling, or if you're thinking about getting into gambling. He was super transparent about, what to do and what not to do. So just go check him out and let me know in the comments down below if you do the rewatch, what you thought about that. Anyway, John Jones, he just signed a pretty big contract with the UFC. So for him to retire and then go off and fight novelty fights, he needs the okay by the UFC to do that. So he is under contract with the UFC. So he may fight. He may. I don't think he will. I don't recommend, if I was in John's team, I would say, come on, man. Come on, man. You won enough. You did enough here. Just take your chips, go to the cashier, cash them in, be the greatest fighter of all time for a long time. I mean, you're on Mount Rushmore. Don't leave in a bad note. You could retire in Madison Square Garden against the pound for pound, the best heavyweight of all time. Come on. Why would he keep fighting? Unless he's in crazy debt, which maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe. And listen, I would like to see John. The more John fights, the better for us, So just looking at this here, Aspinall's a big, strong dude. Oh, actually, this is not the fucking fight. What the hell? That's not it. The fook is going on here.
Let's go, champ.
Sanosi, thank you. 39 months. JBJ and Stipe both retire. Tom versus Sergey. Yeah. I think that's the fight. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that is the lock. All right, here we go. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong fight. But watch Tom. Look at how he comes in. Look at how Tom comes in. That chin is out, dude. Oh my god. It's just, who fights like that, especially at heavyweight? Now, granted, he's got some quick hands, so he can get away with that. And I guess the speed. By the way, like we said when we were predicting the fight, if you look at Tabor's resume, you look at the guys he beat, right? Tom was a very easy pick. Very easy pick. There's a reason why he was a decent-sized favorite in that fight. Listen, this guy was This guy was in over his head, man. Tabora was way in over his head. He had a very good run, you know, but he has peaked. You're fighting the big boys now, and Tom Aspinall is levels ahead. And I like seeing the fact that we have a heavyweight that's agile, fast, and powerful, and has that killer instinct. Like, that is amazing, man. Yo, Aspinall is a real deal, and he's charismatic. You know, Tommy Aspinall is a G, and I would love to see. Here you go, boys. I would love to see Tommy take that belt. I would absolutely love to see Tom get that belt. What I want, okay, is John Jones. I want John Jones to put on a special performance. I mean, seeing Stipe win wouldn't be terrible. And then you might have a rematch fight there. Think about that. If Stipe beats John Jones, well, John's not going to retire. John's not going to retire then. They're going to run it back. 100%. They're going to make $1 gazillion to do a rematch. They run it back. I think that's the only way John doesn't retire. And I don't think Stipe... Well, maybe Stipe does. Oh, damn, man. What happens then? Oh, shit. Let's think about this. Datwinger's high as fuck. Let's go, Datwinger. By the way, did you guys hit the like button? I seen that it doesn't look like that. Hit that fucking like button, please. If Stipe Miocic beats John Jones, Madison Square Garden, November, what happens? Say Stipe retires, right? Or does he fight John again in a rematch? Like, Stipe should definitely retire then. You beat John Jones, Madison Square Garden, you hang it up. Now, how does John retire? He can't. He's got to fight for the vacated belt. Oh, boy. Yeah, Stipe is, I think he's either 40 or 41. He's in his 40s. Big bag would be a thing, but I got to be honest with you. Why risk it if you're Stipe, right? If you win, and you win in Madison Square Garden, you beat the GOAT, dude, if you're Stipe, you hang that shit up. You hang it up. You do not roll the dice for a big bag of money. You don't. Imagine we see a trilogy with those two. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. I think those are the only ways you can see John still continue. John wins. I would imagine he retires. It makes all the sense. Stipe wins. He retires. And then John's like, well, I can't go out like this. Right? So it's something to really think about. I'm very interested in Madison Square Garden. And it's more of the aftermath than the actual fight. Like, what's going to happen? We're going to see this, like, beautiful montage for Stipe or John Jones. Is someone going to leave the gloves in there? Is someone, like, what's going to happen? I think that's what I'm most interested about. Anyway, let me know in the chat what you think, as I got this girl twerking in the side. If John loses, he'll go on the cocaine bender. What else would John have to prove? He had nothing. Yeah, if John wins that fight, which he most likely will, there is nothing more he has to prove. You're playing with fire if you continue, you know? DC gets DC does the in-cage interview and calls him out. John Jones, I want you at heavyweight. Hops over the cage. Like Joe Rogan's interviewing him, and then DC comes in with the steel chair. Jones has about 10 fights left. He has a lot of fights left, but that doesn't mean he has to honor those fights. He does. He signed like a 6-fight contract or some shit, like something crazy. It might be 10. Might be. Or 9 now. It might be. Uh-oh, the fix is in. The fix is in. John Jones has about 10 fights left. Again, here we go. Henry Cejudo. Oh, well, that's Henry. Take whatever you... Yeah, that's Henry. John Jones will eventually turn on God and do cuck videos. Well, that might be a good way to wrap it up. John Jones and his cuck videos. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to the channel, please. We will be back on Wednesday for Adrian Yanez. He's coming on the program for the first time. And we're going to discuss the bantamweight situation. We're going to discuss the fights this weekend, of course. So this whole week, we're going to be spending a lot of time on 291. Friday, we're going to do our prediction show. Make sure you're a member of the channel, because members will be in our exclusive members-only live streams. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just fucking pop up randomly on the member streams. Maybe I'll just fucking do that. You know, just pop up randomly and just have a little fun with you guys. You know, I'll give you guys more membership content, because you guys are literally keeping us alive here, so I appreciate those members. And if you missed the interview with the odds maker of MyBookie, run it back right now in the comments section. Let me know what you think about that. Give me your bets, early predictions, because I'm not going to get... Listen, I kind of gave you some early predictions of what I thought, but I want to know your early predictions in the comments section down below. Tell me where your head is at right now. What fights you're excited about, 291. What'd you think about Saturday's card? Talk to me, baby. And also, we have that thing on the community section. You know, your favorite fighter, but do it in a goofy way. We'll highlight you and throw you in a an upcoming short. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a new segment as well. And, oh, what if it goes to a draw? Shit, man. Imagine that fight's a draw. Dude, that'd be brutal. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys again for stopping by. Shout out to our sponsors. And we'll see you on Wednesday. By the way, we have a second channel called Not the MMA Holes if you want to swing over there and get high with me. Not the MMA Holes is the channel for that. And don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole. Good night! Good night!